Hey, it happened. Um, I'm trapped in the basement. I don't know who will ever see this video, but the zombie apocalypse is here. No one's sure if it's the virus mutating or if it was a vaccine that interacted with the virus or what it was, but there's no denying what's happened, and it is horrific. It is horrific. I had to fight friends and family who had died. I'm living in a nightmare. But I survived. I don't know for how long, though. I didn't do my food shopping before this all started. I mean, this whole week has been crazy. I've been seeing pictures of the news, people attacked in supermarkets. I avoided them. I mean, this is about all the food I have. At some point I'm going to have to go out, though, and it's probably better sooner than later. If you don't see another video, you'll know why. Well, I went out and I saw something even more horrible than people I once knew walking around being dead. And it took the few remaining people on Twitter to point it out. My small town, there are no zombies of color. I had no idea. Even in the zombie apocalypse, white supremacy haunts us. I never knew. I never knew. I've lived in this town for years. I always assumed there'd be people of color here. But now I see everybody in town walking around, and I am ashamed. I am ashamed of how many white zombies there are. It's appalling. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm also running out of food. Well, some good news. Finally, there were no zombies of color here, but now there are. See, I was at the mini mart trying to scrounge for some gas to keep the generator going, and I saw a young mother and her two children, all people of color, hiding behind a van. Well, I knew immediately what I had to do. I started throwing rocks at the van, set off the alarm so the zombies could get them. Now we have 3 zombies of color in the town. So, take that, Twitter critics. We are now a little bit diverse. And I always knew we would be inclusive. It just took someone like me to bring that diversity and inclusion to our town. Well, this is a disaster. The people on Twitter have absolutely zero respect for me, and rightly so, because they pointed out correctly, we have no Latinx zombies and no Asian zombies, no zombies of other religions or creeds. I was so excited to just have some zombies of color. You'd think they'd cut me some slack, but they're right to criticize me. And worst of all, I ran into Bill, right? Bill's this other survivor who lived in town. And we're shooting zombies. We're trying to get the last of the food out of the mini mart. And he starts eyeing up and shooting at the zombies of color. I'm like, Bill, you can't shoot that. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, Bill, they're zombies of color. Hello? He's like, you're out of your mind. And I'm like, I'm out of my mind. You're a bigot. And that's why I shot Bill. Because I don't tolerate bigotry even in the zombie apocalypse. Okay, Twitter. Yeah, you're going to have to like this, okay? Because our town is becoming more diverse and inclusive. And I'll tell you how that happened. I was in town, scrounging for any kind of food, pets that are still alive, anything at all, when I see this car pull up. And it has a husband who was Latinx, and his wife, who was Asian, perhaps Pacific Islander, I don't know, I don't see color, and they were there waving at me. They had water and supplies, and they were asking me to come with them to a safe zone. Well, I, of course, alerted the zombies of color, and they immediately seized upon the couple, and now we have quite the diverse community here. So checkmate, Twitter. I already know what you're going to say, Twitter. You might as well save your breath. We don't have any LGBTQ representation in the town. I know. But guess what? I was in luck today because there was a gay pride parade not too long ago. It was an extra one. They added it. Totally supportive of that, by the way. Anyhow, group of the survivors broke down in a bus at the edge of town. And guess what? I was able to alert the zombies of color, the Latinx zombie, and not so much the Asian zombie. She was pretty torn up when they transformed her. She's still crawling towards the general direction of it. But they attacked the bus and they converted gay people, trans people, both kinds, and now we have a diverse and inclusive community. And before you try to criticize me as some white cis male, I was bitten by a trans zombie. Thank you very much. Okay? So I think our town is truly inclusive and diverse now. And before I go out to feast on human brains and human flesh, I just wanted you to know that, Twitter. So check and mate again.